Hello there, and thank you for joining me as we take a look at another fine addition to my collection. Now, if you're new to the channel, which most of you probably are because the channel is not big at all yet, then welcome. And if you're returning, hey, welcome back. Thanks for coming along for the ride. So, based on the intro, I'm guessing you can figure this out. We're looking at another lightsaber. And today, that is going to be the Antares from Crimson Dawn. Now, it's a very, very nice saber. In my mind, it is a huge step up from my first one, which I reviewed last summer. Sorry for taking forever to get around to this, by the way. Now, I ordered this around New Year's and got it at the beginning of March. At the time, Crimson Dawn was dealing with some stock issues because they are a vendor for a company based out of China called LGT Saber Studio. And LGT is partnered with many different companies that serve as sort of vendors of their product. Some are US based, like I know for a fact Crimson Dawn is based out of Texas in the US. And then there's another, Vhc Sabers is another good one. I think they're based out of Washington, somewhere in the Northwest, I believe. There are other vendors that are extremely reputable. One of which being Rebel Sabers. You've probably seen their ads around if you happen to be interested in buying lightsabers. They are pretty good at marketing. And others include Dark Wolf Sabers, who are incredibly close to LGT. I'm not sure if Dark Wolf is based in the US, but maybe they're not, just based on the fact that they are so close with LGT. And when I say they're close, I mean they're close. Like, they have their own exclusive hilts that some of the other vendors don't have, as well as they tend to get like new replicas before any of the other vendors. But we're not talking about Dark Wolf, we're talking about Crimson Dawn. Crimson Dawn, in my opinion, great company. I've interacted with a few people that work there through social media, through emailing their customer service line, and they're fantastic. They have different means of communication, which is awesome. They really do try to connect with their consumer base in a variety of ways. So they have their customer service system on their website, which they are frequently updating, trying to make better, because they did have issues with it in the past, so they're trying to improve it to better serve the customers, which is awesome. And they also have their Facebook page, which I believe you can message them through Messenger, not sure. Maybe you can. And then they have a Facebook group, sort of like the Vault that's ran by Vader's Vault, or the Custom Lightsaber Owners group ran by Saberforge, which is meant to sort of be not only a place where they can update their customers and their fans, I guess, but also a way that for Crimson Dawn customers and saber enthusiasts in general to kind of just share what they're up to. You know, share different aspects of how they embrace this hobby, whether it be just pictures of their collection, videos of dueling, that sort of stuff. So that is incredible to me that they make so many different efforts to communicate with their audience as well as provide a community. And they've done a really good job. Like I said, in terms of their customer service, I emailed them just a random question. Had nothing to do with actually changing my order or anything like that. I was just curious if a certain core could fit. And they got back to me within 2 days. I don't even think it was 2 days. It might have been the next day, which is impressive because I really struggled with Ultra Sabers and their customer service. And I know other companies have issues like that as well. And in terms of issues, this did take 2 months to get to me. Crimson Dawn does. They do sort of hold a reputation of getting your order out pretty darn quick when you order it. But when I ordered mine, this saber was on back order because it was so popular and they were waiting for stock from LGT. As well as they got hit by a storm. Texas got hit with a huge snowstorm, but they tanked through. Like, their whole warehouse was totally messed up and out of power for days, but they still worked hard. They got back in as soon as they could and shipped out as many orders as they could, one of which being mine. Now, I am thoroughly impressed by it. And I guess I should address the fact that I mentioned a core. LGT's electronics are all based on a core system, whether it be their old V4, which is practically obsolete now, the core that this runs on being their V6 RGBX Eco Smooth Swing. Bit of a mouthful, so we're just going to call it the Eco Smooth Swing or the RGBX going forward. Actually, you know what? The V6 is probably easier. It's take as much out of what we're saying as possible, right? So the V6 core has 7 to 9 sound fonts, all different characters. I believe they are Rey Skywalker based on her lightsaber at the end of Rise of Skywalker, Leia based on her lightsaber from the same movie, Kylo Ren, Obi-Wan Kenobi from Episode 3, Count Dooku, Cal Kestis, Luke from Empire Strikes Back, and the Darksaber in a Moff Gideon configuration, and Palpatine. So yeah, 9 fonts. And they all come with 3 quotes from the individual characters, although all the Luke font ones are primarily Vader, which causes some confusion with fans as to whether it's a Luke font or a Vader font, but it is either based on or just is the ESB Graphlex font by Kyberphonic, so it is a Luke font. It's just, you know, most of the conversation for when this font comes from is with Vader doing a lot of the talking, so that's probably why. And yeah, so you get 9 fonts, and there are a ton of features on this thing. Like I said, 9 fonts, 3 quotes each. You get music selection when the blade is off. It plays tracks, which I think are all from the sequel soundtracks, but, you know, they're still really good tracks. It's John Williams, why wouldn't it be? And you also get color changing due to the RGBX, or RGBW, really, blade. So the LED is an RGBW, so it's like a 4-color LED, which gives you an extremely bright blade for an in-hilt. And you also get different features. It comes with a blaster deflect, lockup, and flash on clash, which is not something that I got on my Ultra Sabers. It also comes with 3 different blade styles, being stable, pulse, which is kind of like the Jedi Fallen Order lightsaber that you see in-game, how it has that slight pulse, and unstable based on Kylo Ren's lightsaber. But this being an in-hilt LED, it's just the whole LED flickering. It's a lot better with NeoPixel options, which you can get from Crimson Dawn or any LGT vendor. LGT also has a Profi NeoPixel core that all of their vendors sell, and that is completely interchangeable with the ones in this hilt. The only hilts that I don't think you can change it in is a lot of replicas. But hey, it's still cool. You get a lot of interchangeability. They also have their Vhc parts, which are completely interchangeable. So like the Antares has the emitter and switch section, that's what that's called. It's all one piece, it's all one big piece. A lot of like the Banshees like that now, and some other sabers. Then it comes with the grip section and the pommel out of the box. But you can buy parts from Crimson Dawn or other LGT sellers. Personally, I think if you're going to get parts, Crimson Dawn might not be your best option. Their selection is kind of thin. They're working on it. They're trying to get a bigger selection of parts, which is awesome, but for now, as of the time this video goes up, I'd probably say go to Vhc Sabers, or my personal choice, Blue Bull's Outer Rim Saber parts. They really knock it out of the park in terms of their selection of VHC parts. It's fantastic, and they sell whole hilts there as well, so you get options. Personally, I did order from them. I got this thumb screw to replace one of my retention screws, as well as the CoverTech wheel and extension, which blends seamlessly between the grip section with the aluminum look and the black anodized look of the pommel. So that is how I did my saber, but there are plenty of options. Now, what does this saber come with? Well, out of the package, obviously it doesn't come with those parts that I just mentioned. I bought those separately. What it comes with is, in my case, I got 4 retention screws, 2 standard sized and 2 like shorter ones. At first I used a standard one on this side and a shorter one over here to block the other retention screw hole on the taller side of the emitter. I also got the instruction sheet. Crimson Dawn sends a little instruction sheet for how to operate the saber that also doubles as a business card. So that's really clever on their part. You also get the Allen wrench, the Allen key, to remove the retention screws. And in my case, all I got after that was a little blade cap to keep dust from getting up in the blade. Oh yeah, and the blade. You get the blade too. By default, they send you a 36-inch mid-blade, or mid-grade I should say, mid-grade blade. It comes with a bullet tip, which is awesome because it's more accurate to the movies and the cartoons. The good thing about a lot of these companies is that they will cut your blade for you. If you put in your order notes, hey, can you cut my blade down to 32 inches or 30 inches or 26, they'll do it, which is awesome because Crimson Dawn and I think other vendors, I haven't really looked at Rebel sabers or Vhc sabers too much to know, but Crimson Dawn does offer 2-pack bundles essentially that are like dueling bundles, but they can also be connected to make a double-bladed lightsaber, so I know that if I order one of those, I'm definitely going to request shorter blades because shorter blades are recommended. Now, the cool thing, the mid-grade blade, it doesn't match the heavy-grade blade that came with my Ultra Sabers, which sucks because they're not grade matched for dueling, which makes things tough. You do have to do extremely light dueling. You can't go full force because this blade might not withstand getting hit with a heavy blade too much. But the cool thing about it is that it does allow for a lot brighter of a light to come through, which, I mean, it is helped, of course, by the fact that this LED is a lot brighter, but I've put my heavy grade blade from Ultra Sabers in this lightsaber as well, because they still fill out the 1-inch diameter, and yeah, this one is brighter. And it's just a joy. You get so many features. You know, I mentioned some of the other ones. I think I mentioned color changing already. And yeah, you get a lot of stuff, and that's cool. Sometimes they send other stuff. My friend Tegan ordered a Banshee from Crimson Dawn, and he got thumb screws to replace the retention screws. I don't think he used them, but he still got them. Crimson Dawn will send little stuff like that free of charge, just to sort of be like, oh, here, you know, we appreciate you. And they did something similar to that when I ordered my saber. A lot of the orders that were coming out at that time, like I said, were delayed. So they sent out a little letter of apology being like, hey, sorry for the delay, you know, to make up for that, here's a discount code you can use on a variety of items, one of which, for me, my interest fell into a blade plug. I think the two biggest things for me were you could use it on a blade plug or a blade. All you had to do was pay shipping, and the item itself was free. And I planned on doing that, but I totally forgot, and the code expired, so I bought a blade plug still, and you'll see it in a minute in the close-up. So yeah, that will be there, but I don't think they do that anymore. I don't think they're sending those out. They probably will if they are facing more delays at some point, but who knows. With that being said, let's get into the close-up look, and I'll show you what the saber looks like out of the box with my blade plug-in, just for the heck of it, and then what it looks like with the added pieces that I put on. So let's get into that. Okay, so here is the Antares up close and personal. Now, I decided not to put the blade plug in yet. It is right here. This is just the short tower blade plug you can get at Crimson Dawn's website. It's very reminiscent of what you would find in a Graflex lightsaber, so that's cool. Here are the other parts, the thumb screw and the cover tech stuff. But yeah, this is the saber as you would get it out of the box. There's the emitter section that goes all the way down past the switch section, and it is fairly long. You get a retention screw hole here, and on the back side I've got a short retention screw in there because light can come through this. It comes through sort of like the windows or the little slit windows right here, and I didn't like that. I kind of just liked the slit windows, so I filled that in here. Going forward, you have a little sort of choke point section. Gripping right here is incredibly good, very comfortable, and makes it really good for doing your spins and swinging and whatnot. Down on the switch portion of the switch/emitter, you get the button, the charge port, which I don't know the exact size, but the saber does come with a charge cord, so all you need is a charging block, whether it be for a Samsung phone or an Apple phone, just anything that you can plug it into the wall. The switch or the power button is illuminated, so as we turn it on, you see the saber says power on. There's a nice little ring here, and this is pretty much how you denote all of the controls. The ring light will flash however amount of times, and that's how you can tell what you're doing. There are these two screws here as well as one right here, and unscrewing those is how you would be able to remove the core, which I'll show you in a second. This is the grip section, completely removable, and the pommel. So now the pommel unscrews pretty easily, and the grip section does as well, and I love how the grip section unscrews because it hides the threading very well, and it comes apart right here, as you can now see, sort of. It's not completely focused in, but yeah, it comes apart there. And here is the RGBX Eco Smooth Swing soundboard. So it'll look like this. Crimson Dawn has their own version called the Crimson Core, which is a similar board. The only real difference is that the soundboard itself is red and it'll say Crimson Dawn on it instead of LGT Saber Studio or Dark Wolf, which I think it says in there. So yeah, this is all of it. It's got a speaker. The speaker's kind of small. So the speaker's not very big, but it does put out a good amount of sound. There are 3 sound settings. You get loud sound, which I do not recommend. It's not very good. I don't think the speaker can really handle the loud sound well. But it does have soft sound, which is still pretty loud and serviceable, as well as no sound, which essentially makes it a stunt saber, but with features. So yeah, this is a very beautiful saber. Again, I'll put this stuff back on so we can get a look at it one last time. And oh no, the pommel's falling off. So screw that in. We'll get one last look at the saber as it comes out of the package. Here it is. Again, like I said, very elegant. There are elements to this saber that are very reminiscent of others. The slanted emitter, I guess you could say, is reminiscent of the Graflex, but the Graflex has more of an S-curve, that being like Anakin, Luke, and Rey, the lightsabers they use. So maybe, I don't know if there are really any examples in canon of slanted emitters, but whatever. I mean, this section, I guess you could say, is sort of reminiscent of Luke's lightsaber, but not too much. This portion more so. The rings on the grip section, very reminiscent of Luke's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi, as well as the pommel is a very sync knob style. It reminds me a lot of Luke's Return of the Jedi saber or Obi-Wan's saber from the prequels. And it is anodized black and has the aluminum showing through. So, with that being said, let's take a look at what this saber looks like once I have put my customizations on it. So with a snap of our fingers, we will see that. And voila, here is my personal Antares. It's not vastly different from the original. The only difference is that I have this thumb screw here, which adds a little more ease. You don't have to break out the Allen key to get a retention screw out, but it also adds a bit of flair in color, which I like. And then down here is the CoverTech wheel and extension piece, which come in 2. You have to order them as 2 separate pieces from Blue Bulls, but he sends them put together. At least in my case he did. I don't know if he does that for everybody, but it was cool that I didn't have to put it together. And then on the inside we have the blade plug, which looks about like this, and it looks really cool. I used to have the blade plug that came with my Ultra Saber's lightsaber put in here, and that does look good too, but I'd like to have separate blade plugs, so I got a separate blade plug. And all you have to do is press the button and the blade turns on. And so it is a blue, it's a bit, comes off a little bit purple on camera, but this is blue. and you can hear that smooth swing. It's extremely responsive. It's not like the older soundboards or, say, the Hasbro toys where you get a very lackluster swing that sounds super basic, like it's the same swing every time. And I love that. I love that feature because that's not something you normally get on, you know, budget sabers. So having it here is really cool. Now, I will say the grip section and pommel do add a lot in terms of bass to this saber. I mean, you should hear it. Hold on. We'll get a look. See, so this is what it sounds like. This is on low sound without the grip section and the pommel versus with them. It's a big difference. But you can still hear the smooth swing and all that. And then the effects quick tap gives you just a blaster, which is a white flash up the whole blade. Flash on clash. Doesn't always come on, but sometimes it does. And then the blade lockup, which is one flash of the red ring. And yeah, so that is the general idea of what you get out of the Crimson Dawn Antares. Going forward, I could show a full demo, but honestly, there are so many reviews of these sabers that it's not entirely necessary. If it is something that people would want to see, then obviously I could do it. But like I said, there's a million videos on Crimson Dawn lightsabers now, and if you really want to get a look at what this saber can do, I would recommend channels like Darth Paradigm's Illuminated Blades. He's covered this lightsaber before. I just wanted to show it off and talk about just my thoughts on it and how much I enjoy it. In my opinion, it is a 10 out of 10. I said the Ultra Saber's lightsaber was like a 8 or 9 out of 10, only losing points on customer service, but this one gets those points that one lost. It blows it out of the water. The Ultra Saber's Aeon LEV5 will always, always, always hold a special place in my heart as my first lightsaber, but man, it sucks compared to this. This lightsaber is phenomenal. So if you want one of your own, I'd say go to Crimson Dawn. Go there. They should have them in stock right now. I believe it's listed under their Tier 2 sabers, or under their in-stock sabers. Their website has specific windows for how they divide their hilts, as well as just ones that are specifically in stock. So I definitely recommend checking them out. And yeah, that has been my review of the Crimson Dawn Antares. Like I said, I'd do a demo, but there are a bunch of videos on what you get out of the Eco Smooth Swing board for various sabers, and it's pretty much the same experience. Obviously, it would be different for a Profi board, but I don't have one of those, so maybe we'll see an update to this in the future. Who knows? This, like I said, is probably going to be my last lightsaber review for a good long while, just because money. But for now, this has been the Antares from Crimson Dawn. I think, like I said, 10 out of 10. Customer service was great. I got the lightsaber. It's incredibly enjoyable. Crimson Dawn is a great company. I recommend going there for your first lightsaber, your third lightsaber, hell, any lightsaber. If you're not looking to spend, you know, $600 on a lightsaber, Crimson Dawn is the way to go, especially if you want something more high-end on a NeoPixel. They are definitely a good place to go. So, with that being said, thank you for watching this video. If you sat all the way through to the end, I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to putting out more videos in the future. Hopefully the near future. Alright, thank you for being here, and goodbye.